Do you feel like you're never the most fashionable person in the room? Do you feel like you never have anything to wear? Do you get stressed out when you have to pick an outfit? Well, don't get too sad because I'm here to help you. I've been through all these things before and I figured out how to fix it. You just need to know 3 things. And you probably already know these things, but you might just not understand them. Hi, my name is Ava, and I help people with their fashion problems. And if you clicked on this video, I'm assuming you have a fashion problem, so let's get into how to fix it. I used to be so obsessed with finding my style. I felt like if I found my style, I'd instantly be fashionable. I now know that's not true, but you might have a similar feeling. If you want to be a fashion girl, you need to know how to style your clothes because styling fixes a lot of fashion problems. If you ever feel like you have nothing to wear, it's probably because you don't know how to style. If you never feel fashionable, it's probably also because you don't know how to style. There are 3 key pieces to styling. It's proportion, color, and vibe. There's also a 4th thing that you need to practice in order to become a good stylist. I'm not going to tell you right now, but I will give you a hint. It's something that kids do. So leave a comment if you know what it is, but I'll get into it a little bit later. First, we have proportion. It's the way an outfit works with your body. If you get proportion wrong, your outfit can look ugly even if the pieces go together. I don't want this to be boring, so I'm going to give you a test. First, tell me what's wrong with the proportion of this outfit. I'll wait. The outfit itself is fine, but for her body, the high-waisted pants hit a little bit too high, giving her a small torso. And she may have a small torso, but pants come in all shapes and sizes, so it's easier to just buy pants that hit a little bit lower rather than looking like your torso is tiny. Okay, what's wrong with this outfit? My problem with it is where it splits in the middle of the body. It doesn't look intentional enough, so I feel like that top part should be a little bit more baggy, a little bit lower, or bring it up a little bit higher to make it look more even. This is the last example, and I feel like after the first 2, you should be able to figure this one out. It's a pretty simple fix. I would just lift the skirt up a little bit higher. A-line on A-line is fine, but because you see that zipper part where it's a little bit tighter, it kind of cuts off the lines. When it comes to proportion, you really just have to try things on to understand what looks good on your body. It's different for everyone, but the more you try things on, the easier it'll be to fix things. Let's talk about color. Color is something that can just make an outfit look really off. There are many times where I'll be trying on an outfit and I feel like if my top was maybe just a shade lighter or a shade darker, the colors would look better together. Let me give you an example. With this outfit, if the blazer and the pants were the same shade of brown, it would make it look perfect. And I'm not saying that it looks bad right now, but it's just those little things that can make an outfit look even better. Here's another example, and this one is honestly up to your opinion, but I personally would change the pants to maybe like a light blue jean or a brown pant instead of the black. The black does match because it's literally just black, white, and tan, but at the same time, I feel like the black is a little bit too dark compared to the other colors. And these are the choices that you have to make when you're styling yourself. It really just depends on what you like, but I would suggest to have your opinions on that and stick with it so that you have a more consistent style. And so that when you're getting dressed, you don't have to go back and forth of what you like better because you already know. I also want to talk about patterns. I feel like people say that you can't mix and match patterns, but you really just have to learn how to do it the right way. The easiest way to make not matching patterns match is to use the same color palette. With this top, lace and stripes don't go together, but because they're in the same color palette of the pinks and browns, it works nicely. But this outfit doesn't work for me because I feel like the boots would look better if they were in a purple color rather than the gray. Although the gray is a neutral, I think that it would match better with the purple. This next outfit is pretty loud, but it still goes together really well. You have the cheetah pants and then the red and white striped top. And that doesn't seem like something that would make sense, but because the cheetah is so much of a neutral compared to the striped top, it really works. And it also helps that the stripes are a little bit thick, because I've seen the same outfit with thinner red and white stripes, and it makes it a little bit less cohesive. Let's get into vibes. This is the most ambiguous one, but it's also the most important. If you don't get the vibe right and you go to an event where everyone else did, it's going to be hard to feel confident. Let me give you an example of how the vibe differs depending on where you're going. If you're dressing up for a Sabrina Carpenter concert, you're going to look completely different compared to if you were going to a Beyonce concert. And this is where you really need to think like a stylist, so I'm going to go over my thought process. Let's stick to the concert theme and say that I'm going to a Zara Larsson concert. Her theme is very summer, florals, glitter, bright colors. So I would take that and then try to match it to what I usually wear. I wouldn't want to copy her exactly because that's not me. I'd probably get something like a long asymmetrical ruffle skirt because she wears a lot of short mini skirts that have little ruffles. I'd maybe match that with a sparkly crop top. She always has glitter in her outfits. And then pair it with a sheer top on top or maybe a little shawl. And then put a flower in my hair. It's that easy. Just research the vibe and match it to what you like. I don't think you can be considered a good stylist if you only know how to style yourself for day-to-day wear. So you need to be able to style yourself for anything. And that's why the vibes are important. Because if you know what the vibes are, you know what type of outfit you need, and that will make it easier to style yourself. And if you don't go anywhere, then make up scenarios and practice for that so that you'll be ready for the time when you do go out. Now that we've gone over the 3 principles of styling, I want to give you some homework. And this is going to be the 4th thing that I told you that you need to practice, and it is playing dress up. This is the only way to get better at styling. You need to get in your closet and go try everything on, mix and match things, just test things out. Even if you think they won't look good together, that's the point. This will help you find out what works and what doesn't and see how far you can go outside the box. If you've ever felt like you have nothing to wear, it's just because you don't know how to put your clothes together. After all your practice, you'll be able to figure that out and you won't be as stressed when trying to create outfits. You can't just think about your clothes as separate pieces. They work together and that's what makes them good. I hope that you can take these principles and apply them to your style journey. Subscribe if this video was helpful and leave a comment of what you'd like me to talk about next. Thanks for watching. Bye.